can't do a video series about springs in Florida without mentioning Wakulla Springs. This is the OG of springs in the Florida Panhandle, and one of the most historic springs in all Florida. Located just 14 miles south of the capital of Florida, Tallahassee, Wakulla Springs is the discharge point for an extensive cave system that's been mapped for over 20 miles. Using dye, researchers have been able to track the water flow from Lake Jackson north of Tallahassee all the way to Wakulla Springs. Like many Florida state parks, there's some wonderful nature trails here. As you get closer to the main parking area, the road splits. One side goes to the historic lodge and the other side goes to the swimming area. This here is the historic lodge built in the early 1930s by Edward Ball, very influential man in the Florida Panhandle. With the historic nature of this lodge, been the subject of paranormal investigations and apparently had a major fire in the 1940s. Also during that time, the U.S. military was using Wakulla Springs for amphibious training for World War II. Hollywood also took advantage of the clear water in the 1930s by filming Tarzan and Creature from the Black Lagoon in the 50s and other movies there. The park has a nice little beach area for families and swimmers. The rangers and lifeguards are pretty strict with the rules, so definitely read them. Ranger given a snake exhibit. The main spring head is located just below those buoys. This is the old high jump tower. They also have glass bottom boats that run when the water clarity is good. Unfortunately, in recent years, Wakulla Springs has struggled with water clarity. Often, Wakulla Springs will be browned out or have a green yellowish tint. The cause of this loss of clarity is debatable. Some believe that it's due to some mining operations, others believe it's due to the development north of the spring near the Tallahassee area, causing high levels of nitrates. Almost to the halfway point of this underground river system is Leon Sinks. Cave divers with the Woodville Karst Plain project have been studying this area for decades. This underground river system, stretching over 20 miles, ultimately discharges in first magnitude Wakulla Springs. This is one of the largest springs in the entire world. The rim here is roughly 40 to 50 feet deep depending on water levels. I took a bad angle on my ascent and the ranger threatened to evict me from the park after this. It's pretty hard to free dive there. The cave entrance is over 100 feet deep, so you're going to need scuba gear. I've been visiting Wakulla Springs since I was a kid, and I carry on the tradition with my kids now. You might notice these alligator signs all over Florida, but at Wakulla Springs, they are for real. I once heard a story that a man swam under the ropes and the glass bottom boat went by and saw his head in a gator's mouth. Not sure if that's true, but there are some big gators there. This is actually the remnants of the old dive tower at Wakulla Springs. It's just a high jump now for kids. They have a lifeguard on duty. It used to be a lot taller back in the olden days. It was world famous for divers making incredible jumps from here. As you can see, it was much taller. As with most springs, on different days you get different clarity and different weather. So we're going to go back in time to another day where my kids were a little bit younger and the spring was a little bit greener. Here's a crayfish. They have cousins in the caves that have no pigmentation.